Hey, welcome back to Businessology Lessons. I'm going to quickly tell you a story of a business failure in my past and try to pull out some things that I learned from this experience. This was many years ago, a decade or more, I think. So I was one of my clients, a designer. I was working with a designer, and we had a great rapport, and we said, hey, let's start this business together. And it was a digital signage business. So we had seen that we could purchase digital signage. These were huge monitors, basically, from Taiwan. That's where we bought them from. We had them shipped in from Taiwan. And so this was before any menus or anything like that were on digital signage. That was not really a thing. So we contacted our local mall, and we said, we want to build some digital signage systems. And we bought these because we could build motion graphic ads, these display ads, these motion graphics. So they moved. We could sell them to people in the mall, the store operators, and we were going to launch it around Christmas time. So we thought, this will be fail-proof, right? This will be perfect. So the digital signage, they came in on a big truck. We unloaded them. Then we CAD designed stands that held these digital signage systems. And so they were dual-sided signage systems, and we uploaded the ads through a server in Germany that would download the ads and play them on various loops at right times, right? So we would sell somebody that your looped ad will play 3 times this upcoming hour starting at 6 p.m. These are the things we would sell. So so it failed miserably. So we didn't have the money, so we went and got bank debt to do this. So my dad had to help me sign for it. That's not cool. So that happened. But hey, I didn't care. I wanted the signage because. Why? Because I was going to be a millionaire. Here's how I knew I was going to be a millionaire. I had a spreadsheet, and we've worked with an entrepreneur recently that had a spreadsheet too. And so the spreadsheet had so many ads we would sell, and we would sell them for this much. And if we ran them at this level of recurrence, the spreadsheet showed that the sales were, oh my God, it was going through the roof. So I'm like looking at the spreadsheet going, I'm going to print money, basically, is what I was going to do. Wow, that did not happen. So I didn't print any money. So the signs came in, and they were built by a company in Taiwan. They weren't built too well. Of course, we didn't know how to do due diligence. We had no clue. We thought, freaking A, the signs are awesome. So they came in. They stopped working, or they would break in the mall, because we did finally get them installed in the mall. And so we had to call the people from Taiwan, and they had to fly somebody over to fix the signage, but we had to put them up in a hotel to fix the signage. So the signage machines were not working, and they were in a hotel with this guy from Taiwan trying to fix them, and he didn't know how to fix them, and he didn't speak a lot of English either. So there's a lot of different problems. Now, who's going to sell these ads? I didn't really think about that. So the designer, my partner, he was a legal partner of mine. He was the designer, so I was the salesperson. Well, at this point, I didn't have tons of sales experience. This is many years ago. That's all I do now, but many years ago, I was calling people in the mall trying to get them to buy an ad. Now, who was I getting in contact with at Gap? Well, it was the store manager who was 25, and they hated their job anyway. So they're like, I'm not going to buy an ad. I don't know what you're talking about. Here's corporate. So then I had to start learning how to go through weave through the corporate structure to get to the people who push ads into malls. Lo and behold, there were no people like that. So it was not a thing. And I was running an accounting firm at the time, but I've always been an entrepreneur. And this was obviously going to print cash. So I wanted to do this, and I pitched it to my wife, pitched it to my dad, pitched to my partner. Of course, my partner and I, man, we worked each other into a frenzy. We both thought we were going to be printing money. So we didn't have to sell each other on this deal. But there were so many things. Anyway, it didn't work at all. And for many different reasons. Like I did not anticipate what it would take to produce sales for small $400 and $500 increments, right? That's all the market would pay for an ad like that. We had to give so many away for free just to show them what it looked like that they found out it wasn't valuable, and so they didn't pay for anything after it was free. And we didn't do due diligence on what is the sales process, or is the market willing and ready to accept something like this. Again, it was so new, there was no digital signage in the mall, so we thought it was going to be so innovative. And it also took a lot of time to build, right? We had to bring the machines in from Taiwan. They didn't work at first. We had to CAD design steel frames so that you can't turn these machines off, right? Because punk little kids are going to come through the mall. And well, here's what I would have done as a punk little kid. I would have turned the machine off. So we had to design them where you couldn't turn it off. But if you got a long pencil, you could push it in there and you could turn off. So after I would do taxes all day, I would go to the mall and reboot these machines at night. Crazy when I think back. So I didn't know how to sell. I didn't know how to navigate corporate structures to sell. Certainly my due diligence was, it had a lens on it, which entrepreneurs are really super bad about this. They have a lens on that the thing they are so eager and committed to is already going to work. So that pre-committed lens really warps their view of what due diligence is meant to do. I had no way of possibly knowing this would not work, and nobody really could convince me that it wouldn't work, because I'm like, look at the spreadsheet. Like that's all you need to know. But ultimately, it didn't work because I didn't know how to do the due diligence and things like that. And then so eventually we just had to shut the company down and spend the next 5 years paying off the bank debt. So if somebody's coming to us with a brand new idea, they have a new idea, we have to prep them a little bit. We have to go, hey, we're probably going to want to put on a different lens than you have. Well, actually, my partner and I were doing it today. We were vetting a brand new piece of software to spin out of a current company. And the client that we were working with was really open to having us beat them up on their idea. But we always want to be upfront and go, we're trying to wear a lens of the market and whether your value proposition will meet its goal in the market. We're not trying to make you happy or please you, and we're not trying to make this deal go through. We're not trying to get this done. That's not our goal. And I really didn't have anybody that would vet me properly. And I certainly didn't have anybody that I would listen to. So I was much more immature. I'm still immature, but I was way more immature then than I am now. I've learned a lot. So I needed somebody to really challenge me on this business model. Because you need to not do things that are not going to ultimately be successful or valuable. It doesn't mean they won't take a long time or they won't be hard. Those are all the things that are okay when you're in brand new business endeavors. But things that are really doomed from the beginning, or there's just a lot of pieces you don't understand. If you don't understand a business, you really need to be careful about wading into it because as we say, business is pretty simple. We tell our clients that. We told our client that today. We said business is simple. If people want it and the price is right, they're going to buy it. If they buy it enough, you have a business, right? And so it needs to be that simple. If you can't give proof points as to whether that's going to be true or not, then you need to wait. You need to do more due diligence. You need to take time. But let me tell you one thing entrepreneurs don't want to do is wait on their ideas. And I'm speaking from personal experience. I do not want to wait. But now I know the risks are so high, I'm willing to let people challenge me in a way that forces me to wait so that I can ensure what I really want, which is success. And that only comes from maturity. So don't be an immature entrepreneur. Vet your ideas. Let other people vet those people that you trust. And move slower if you have to, and don't do it at all if you have a final proof point that it's just not going to work. And so those are lessons from my business failures in the past. There's many more, but I hope that one helps. Thanks.